get her out of the house. She's nothing but a burden now." Those words didn't just hit my ears. They cut through my chest like glass. And the worst part, they were talking about me. I was standing in my own living room, holding a small suitcase, watching my son avoid my eyes like I was a stranger he was embarrassed to know. But what happened next, I still can't believe it even today, because that was the moment everything in my life quietly snapped in two, and I never imagined I would be the one to turn the tables. "Mom, you can't stay here anymore. It's time you accept it." My son said it so casually, like he was talking about moving furniture instead of his own mother. Beside him, my daughter-in-law folded her arms with a satisfied smile, like she'd been waiting years for this exact moment. "You've been slowing us down," she added coldly. "We need space. We have kids. We have a life." I looked at them both, waiting for someone to laugh, to say it was a joke, but no one did. My heart started pounding. "Slow you down?" I whispered. "I raised you, Daniel. I worked 2 jobs after your father died so you could go to college." He looked away. That hurt more than anything. "Yeah, and we're grateful," he said quickly, like reading a script. "But things change." Things change. Just like that, decades of sacrifice were erased in one sentence. And then my daughter-in-law stepped forward. Her voice dropped, sharp and controlled. "Honestly, this house is wasted on you. It's too big, too expensive. You can go somewhere simpler." A colder realization crept into my chest. They weren't just pushing me out. They had already decided I didn't belong. And what they didn't know was that this house, this waste, was not what they thought it was. But I didn't say anything yet. Not then, because I needed to understand how far they were willing to go. That night, I sat in my room listening to muffled laughter downstairs. They were celebrating. My son, my only child, was celebrating my displacement like it was a promotion. Every laugh felt like another betrayal. But then something strange happened. Around midnight, I heard footsteps outside my door. Slow, careful, then silence, and a soft whisper. "I told you she'd be easy to handle." It was my daughter-in-law's voice, and my son replied, "Just don't rush it. Once the paperwork's clean, everything transfers smoothly." Paperwork? Transfer? My breath froze. What paperwork? My hands started shaking, but I didn't move because something inside me told me this wasn't just cruelty. This was planned, and I was not supposed to hear it. The next morning, they acted like nothing happened. Breakfast was normal, too normal. My daughter-in-law even smiled at me. "You should rest today, Margaret. We'll handle everything." Handle everything. That phrase echoed in my mind like an alarm. I nodded slowly, pretending I didn't hear anything. But inside, I had already started watching them differently. Every movement, every word, every lie. And then came the moment that changed everything. At noon, a man arrived at the door. Suit, briefcase, serious expression. "Is this Mrs. Margaret Hayes?" "Yes." "I'm from Bennett and Associates. I believe you were expecting a document review regarding your late husband's estate." My son suddenly appeared behind me, too fast, too alert. "That's not necessary," he said quickly. "We already handled it." The lawyer looked confused. "I'm afraid that's not accurate. There's still one file remaining." My daughter-in-law's smile disappeared instantly, and I felt it. That shift in the air. Something was about to break open. "Please come in," I said softly. My son tried to stop me. "Mom, it's unnecessary." But for the first time in years, I didn't listen to him. The lawyer sat in my living room, opened his briefcase, and pulled out a sealed envelope. My instructions are very clear. This document was not to be opened until certain conditions were met. My son leaned forward. What conditions? The lawyer looked at me. Your husband specifically requested it be revealed only if the homeowner was ever forced to vacate the property against their will. Silence. Absolute silence. My daughter-in-law laughed nervously. This is ridiculous. But I couldn't breathe because I knew my husband and he never did anything without reason. The lawyer opened the envelope, and what he said next shattered everything. According to the trust, this property has never belonged to your son. My son froze. What? The lawyer continued calmly. It belongs entirely to Mrs. Hayes. Your late husband placed the entire estate under her sole ownership. Any attempt to transfer or pressure her into relocation constitutes legal fraud and coercion. My daughter-in-law's face turned pale. No, that's impossible. But the lawyer wasn't done. And there's more. He pulled out another document, a second account, a hidden trust fund, and a recorded statement from my late husband. When the voice played through the speaker, I nearly collapsed. If you are hearing this, Margaret, then they have forgotten who you are. But I never did. Everything I built is yours, and no one, not even family, can take that dignity from you. Tears blurred my vision. My hands shook, but something else was rising inside me too. Strength. For the first time that night, I wasn't the burden. They were. The next 48 hours changed everything. My son tried to explain. My daughter-in-law tried to negotiate, but the lawyer shut them down instantly. Fraud investigation began, bank accounts frozen, property claims exposed, and the truth spread faster than they could control. But what they didn't expect was my silence. I didn't scream, I didn't fight, I simply stepped back and let truth do what it always does, unfold. Meanwhile, I moved into the same house they tried to take from me, but now it felt different. It wasn't just walls anymore. It was protection. It was legacy. It was justice quietly breathing in every room. But the real shock came 1 week later. My son showed up at my door, alone, unshaven, broken. Mom, please. I stood there quietly, waiting. He couldn't meet my eyes. They're pressing charges. I didn't know it was illegal. She told me everything was handled. I studied him, this boy I once held in my arms, and I realized something painful. He wasn't the villain. He was just weak enough to follow one. But weakness still has consequences. I never wanted this, he whispered. I nodded slowly. I know. Long silence. Then I spoke. But you still chose her over me every single day. That hit him harder than anything. He broke down right there on my porch. But I didn't move to comfort him because something inside me had finally learned the difference between love and tolerance of disrespect, and I had spent a lifetime confusing the two. 2 months later, everything settled. The investigation confirmed financial manipulation by my daughter-in-law. She lost everything. My son lost his business partnership. Reputation gone. Future uncertain. But I didn't celebrate because revenge was never what I wanted. Peace was, and I finally had it. One quiet morning, I sat in my kitchen with sunlight falling through the window. No tension, no fear, no humiliation, just silence and dignity. Then my grandson visited. He ran into my arms crying, "Grandma, I missed you!" I held him tightly. "You're safe here," I whispered. And for the first time in a long time, I meant it. Because this house was no longer a place of rejection. It was a place where truth finally won. That evening, I walked through my home slowly. Every step felt different now, lighter, stronger, free. And I thought about all the times I was called a burden, how easily people mistake silence for weakness, how quickly they forget who held everything together for years. But life has a way of balancing itself, not always loudly, not always immediately, but always eventually. Before I went to bed that night, I looked at my husband's photo on the wall. "I understand now," I whispered. "You weren't just protecting me from them. You were protecting me for this moment." A calm warmth filled my chest. Not revenge, not anger, just closure. And as I turned off the light, one final truth settled inside me. The world doesn't always reward kindness immediately, but it never forgets it either. And those who call you a burden are often the ones who never understood your weight was holding them up. Because in the end, I wasn't the burden. I was the foundation they forgot they were standing on.